What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel for yet another rebuild challenge. Before we get underway, I just want to say thank you to everyone who enjoyed last week's rebuild of Portsmouth. If you've not seen that rebuild, I'm going to chuck the thumbnail up now. Please do go and check it out on the channel. It was a 10-year long rebuild where we tried to get Portsmouth as far as we possibly could in 10 years. This rebuild, this weekend, is definitely a little bit different from that. We've gone for someone big. We've gone for an Italian giant. We are, as you can probably tell by the thumbnail, by the title, we are going to rebuild Juventus. Now, a lot has been made in the footballing world about Barcelona's debts, Real Madrid's debts, etc. Juventus are just the same. They have an absolute mountain of debt, but they do have a big amount of pulling power when it comes to getting players in through the door. So I'm very intrigued to see what happens with them. Obviously, they're not doing very well, or as well, in Serie A after a number of years of dominance, which we will take a look at in a second. So let's see what I can do with Juventus. My main goals are basically reduce the volume of debt, try and get a new core of youngsters into the team. Obviously, there have been older players, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, Bonucci, etc., that are sort of older players that will need to be replaced relatively quickly within this 5-year rebuild, and then ultimately see how many Champions Leagues we can win. The goal is the Champions League. Juventus have a lot of money despite the debt in game, which makes no sense to me. So we're just going to see what we can do in 5 years. If the rebuild content is something that you like, please do drop a like on the video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here, and ring that bell so you're told each and every time that we upload a video to the channel. But without any further ado, let's get into this rebuild. So guys, we're going to start off initially on Juventus's history screen. As you can see, two-time winner of the Champions League last in 1996. I will be trying to get 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 and Bonucci a Champions League title because I think they do deserve it. 36-time winner of the Serie A, obviously most notably in 2020. We will take a look at that as well. They've won the UEFA Super Cup twice, and they've also won the Europa League last in 1993. Obviously, they've won 14 Italian Cups as well. And look at this period of dominance in the Serie A. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 titles in a row, and then obviously losing to Inter Milan last time out. But that is a historic level of dominance. I will be disappointed if we don't win the league every single year that I am here as manager. That is my minimum achievement. If I don't do that, I will be furious. I mentioned in the intro that we're talking about debts. We've got no transfer budget. Next season's minimum guarantee budget will also be 0. And the main reason for this, if we go into their debts and loans, they have a debt here of 291 million. It's quite a lot. Juventus are, as I said, in a bad spot. They are one of the teams that did want that Super League. And when you look at things like this and their debts, you can kind of see why that is. In terms of the tactic we are running today, we are using the GYRFM Bane tactic, and there is a main reason for that. I want us 2 up top, and the main reason is because I want that Lorenzo Luca Raspadori big man, little man sort of Italian powerhouse combo at the top of the field, and Gareth's Bane tactic is just brilliant. So I want to see how we get on with that. So I've done a video on this where we put it to the test in a tactic tester, so please do go and check that one out on the channel. If we go and quick pick the best 11, this is kind of how the team's looking at the moment. Szczesny in goal, again another older player. Danilo, who I'm not fully convinced by. Bonucci, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, Alexandro, Locatelli, who's obviously on loan, Cuadrado, Rabiot, Chiesa, Morata and Dybala. Juventus are a very weird one. Like, they've got players like Locatelli, who is currently on loan from Sassuolo, but joins permanently in 2 years' time. We've got him on a 2-year loan deal, and then we sign him. We've also got Chiesa on loan again from Fiorentina. He is due to transfer as well. And then we've also got Moise Kean, who is on loan from Everton, much the same, will be joining on the 1st of the 7th, 2023. So we've got him for a 2-season loan deal, which is very interesting. Alvaro Morata will not be sticking around. He is just on a 1-year loan contract from Atleti, and he will not be staying. In terms of some of the other players that we do like in this team, I love Chiesa. I think he's fantastic. There is also Kulusevski, who is now a Spurs player, but I think he is a very, very good player. I do like 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 as well. I think he's very, very solid in that midfield. In terms of the competitions that we are in, this is what we have the first time around. We've got 4 competitions. We obviously do have that Serie A, the Champions League, the Coppa Italia, and the Italian Super Cup as well, where we take on Inter Milan. In terms of this Serie A and the stages and the overview and the season preview, sorry, we are favourites to win it. This is why I said the goal for me with Juventus isn't just to win the league. That is the minimum bar that I'm expecting. Five Serie A trophies in a row is the minimum expectation I have. And then after that, it's kind of what we can do in Europe and try and see if we can get their hands on a Champions League trophy. In terms of everything else, though, it should be relatively self-explanatory. Let's see what we can do after season number 1. So guys, I said the minimum expectation was to win that league, and that is exactly what we've done. That is exactly how I'm going to start things. We managed to top the tree, 90 points out of our 38 games, 27 victories, 9 draws, 2 assists. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 𝙈𝙚, though, top goal scorer in the league with 32. It's quite a big gap between 𝘼𝙗𝙪 and everybody else. Berardi on 20, and then obviously -- was our top goal scorer in the league with 20. Dybala playing quite well, though, with the most assists of 11, and doing quite nice things. But it wasn't just the league that I wanted to get my hands on. I kind of want to dominate Italy domestically, as Juventus have done for years, and we managed to win the Coppa Italia as well, getting past AC Milan in that final 5-1. Dybala scoring 4 of those, and Weston McKennie getting in on the action as well. Dybala doing very, very good things. His contract is usually set to expire at the end of the season, and you have to negotiate a new deal with him. I have done that, but I think I'm going to sell him. And we also won the Super Cup as well. We beat Inter in the final of that Super Cup. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 and Danilo were the goals. Lautaro Martinez with the goal for Inter. Annoyingly, in the Champions League, we got to the first knockout round, and then we came up against a very good Dortmund side who beat us 5-4 on aggregate. Remember, this is a Dortmund side with Erling Haaland at the moment, so that's not really a surprise, is it? In terms of the team, though, quite happy with how things got on in that first season, but we are going to start to look at younger players to fill in some of these spots. In terms of the finances, I've got around 40 million to spend. As I mentioned, I want that 𝘼𝙗𝙗𝙪 Raspadori sort of strike partnership. Whether or not that happens right here, right now, this summer, I don't know. That debt is still, it's got bigger, 273 million of net debt, and they've given me a 40 million pound transfer budget. The main thing I am going to do, though, as you can see, I've got them sorted, the players sorted by when their contracts expire. And the main reason for this is because of Dybala. If we go to his transfer value now, he is currently wanted. He is wanted by Manchester City, and his transfer value, as you can see in the top right of your screen, is 66 to 79 million. I'm going to try and sell him. Let's see what happens. I'll bring you a transfer update for season number 2. So guys, this is where we start the transfer update. Dybala is gone. He is a Manchester City player. If we look at his career stats, we sold him for 85 million pounds. His stock was high. A very good return for us in that league campaign. 17 goals and 11 assists in 21 appearances. I didn't realise his campaign was that good. 7.93 average rating. His stock was as high as it was going to be, and Man City wanted him. So he is now playing his football in Manchester. Potentially something that could happen this summer, because his contract is up in real life, and I don't know if they're going to renew it, but that has allowed me to go out and spend some cash. So we already knew Chiesa was joining. 34 million pounds he comes in from Fiorentina. Was very good for us last year. I've seen him develop in this game to go on and win Ballon d'Or, so hopefully he can do it, and we have pulled the trigger. We do have that strike partnership. Lorenzo Luca is here from Pisa. Technically, we bought him and I've loaned him back out because we do have 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 still, and we have bought Raspadori, who goes up front. I think he and 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 will be our strike partnership for this season. Give Luca some more game time at Pisa, who did get promoted to the Serie A, so he's playing at a good level. And then I went out and I thought we needed another left midfielder. So I went out and bought Luis Diaz from Porto. He's very, very good on the ball. I am retraining him to be that actual midfielder on that left-hand side, but he is brilliant. We all know about Luis Diaz in this game, how good he can be, and he is obviously now a Liverpool player in real life. So in terms of the team and the tactic, this is kind of how we're looking if we manage get our best 11 on the field. I'm definitely not playing Rabiot there. Let's do that. Let's move Luis Diaz. This is, in my opinion, the best 11. Kulusevski's not ready to play up front just yet. So this is the team going into season number 2. Szczęsny, Cuadrado, De Ligt, Bonucci, Danilo, Locatelli, Chiesa, McKennie, Diaz, Keane and Raspadori as that strike partnership. An Italian dream team up front. We've got another Italian here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Italians in this starting 11, which is pretty good. I would quite like an Italian core. Let's see if we can sign any more Italians. In terms of the competitions, we've got the Serie A, we've got the Champions League, which I'm hoping we can do a little bit better in this year. The Coppa Italia and that Super Cup. Again, in terms of Club Vision, I realised I didn't show it to you after the first season or before the first season. Relatively straightforward in terms of the competitions. They want us to win the Serie A, reach the quarterfinals of the Champions League, reach the final of the Coppa Italia, and they don't care about the Super Cup. They obviously want us to grow the club's reputation and develop that best youth system in the world, which we're trying to do. The net deck sort of fluctuates in these seasons depending on when the TV money comes in. At the current time, just before we start season number 2, 165 million in debt. So we are clearing it slowly. Let's see if we can get any further throughout the rest of this save and put them in a good position to hand things over. In terms of the competitions, though, I'd like a clean sweep of Italy and to do better than that first knockout round in the Champions League. Let's see you at the end of the season. So it's the end of season number 2, and we've had another bit of domestic dominance, another Italian treble, winning that Super Cup, winning the Coppa Italia, and absolutely blitzing that league as well. But unfortunately, first knockout round again in the Champions League, coming up against Manchester United, who actually taught us a little bit of a lesson. 6-1 on aggregate, losing to Manchester United there. And we've also, so the Super Cup, we beat Milan 1-0. As you can see, Moise Kean is the goal scorer there. And that Coppa Italia final, comfortably dominating into there. Diaz, Rabiot, and then 2 for Raspadori. And then obviously this league campaign, 90 points again for us, second time in a row. 28 victories, 6 draws and 4 losses, 98 goals scored, 31 goals against. In terms of everything though, Moise Kean, top goal scorer at the club. Thank you very much, Everton, for letting him come here on loan. 33 goals for him. Cuadrado, highest average rating. Cuadrado and Chiesa with the highest number of assists, so doing really well. Obviously, we do have Moise Kean and Locatelli coming in as Juventus players this summer, but in terms of these finances, things have changed, guys. We've still got a massive net debt, but I don't understand how and where Juve are getting this money from. They've got 122 million pounds in the transfer kitty. There are some clubs in this game, regardless of who you are, because of their reputation and because of other things, they just get loads of cash. And it seems like Juventus is one of those, which is really disappointing. I will try and be frugal, and I will try and improve things as much as I possibly can. Let's see what happens for season number 3. Starting things off with the incomings, because the outgoings are not very good. We did, I forgot to tell you guys, we bought Andrea Papetti. He went out on loan for Brescia for a season. He's going out on loan with them again. Obviously, we've got the prearranged, yeah, there he is. We bought him from Brescia, and now he's going back out on loan. The transfers of Moise Kean and Locatelli have happened, but I've spent big. I've spent 115 million, and in my opinion, we've massively upgraded at the goalkeeper spot. Jan Oblak was unhappy at Atleti, so we went out and purchased him. We met his minimum fee release clause. I did try and sign Donnarumma just to bring in another Italian, but PSG wanted upwards of 250 million, so I was just like, absolutely not. I'm not paying that much money for a goalkeeper. So we paid 115 for Oblak instead. Very, very good last season, last 2 seasons, 7.26 and 7.21 were his average ratings. So he's done very, very well for us, and he comes into play in goal. We've had a couple players leave out on free transfers. Alexandro is probably one of the bigger ones. Rabiot, another big one. He went to Manchester United. Again, I have a habit of simulating these and not paying attention in the January window when all these players' contracts expire. So we've lost 2 good players there, 2 good squad players, which is actually quite frustrating. In terms of the tactic though, if we quick pick without restriction the best 11, this is kind of how we're looking going into season number 3. Oblak comes in goal. Cuadrado, Demiral, De Ligt, Danilo, obviously Bonucci and Chiellini. Chiellini's retired. Bonucci is still still here. Locatelli is the DLP, Chiesa, McKennie, Diaz, Keane and Raspadori up top. We do have Lorenzo Luca back with us this season. We all know how good Lorenzo Luca can be in this. Last season, whilst on loan at Pisa, he got 11 goals for a team that did struggle in Serie A, but at least he was playing Serie A football. The star ratings are a little bit skewy here, but I think that is just because of how good De Ligt and Oblak are. Same with Locatelli and Chiesa. 3 stars in this team, not necessarily too bad. In terms of the competitions though, guys, we've got the same 4 that we've had every single year. I would only assume that we are the favourites to win the league again. Yes, we are. We are even favourites to win the Serie A. The Champions League's a big one. I really want a better performance in the Champions League, and I'm hoping spending over 100 million on Oblak is that difference maker. I'll see you at the end of the season. Okay guys, so it's 3 out of 3 in the Serie A. We've won the title again, this time only by 3 points. AC Milan pushed us much closer than previously. We got 89 points this time around, 28 victories, 5 draws, 5 losses, but that's 74 goal difference, doing us really well. But I have to say, Ciro Immobile, 38 goals for this absolute monster. He's in his season so far, he's got 32 in 38, 34 in 31 and 38 in 33, and he's still at Lazio, who I don't think, they didn't qualify for any European competition. I might have to try and buy Ciro Immobile. I don't know how much it's going to cost. Let's quickly ask his agent and see what he says. Has no interest. Good. Currently focused on the Euros. Okay, well maybe we can try after the Euros, but his goal scoring return in the Serie A has been nothing short of exceptional. But the Champions League is ours. We have finally won our first Champions League. It's taken 3 seasons, but we've done it. We beat Liverpool in that final. Arthur with the goal from central midfield, the ball playing midfielder, deep line playmaker, whichever you prefer, the Brazilian, who former Barcelona player. This Liverpool team looking relatively similar to how you would kind of expect it, but we bested them in that final with that 65th minute goal from Arthur. We win the Italian Cup as well, winning that one on penalties this time, beating Fiorentina 1-1. Lorenzo Luca scoring our goal, Nicolas Gonzalez with the goal for Fiorentina, Luca Kulievski, Bonucci and Ravella all scoring from the spot, but they had misses from Gonzalez and Castrovilli as well. In terms of the Super Cup, we win that one again. It doesn't really matter this one, but it's still nice to win the silverware, isn't it? Locatelli and Raspadori with the goals as we take on Inter and beat them. So again, a very nice season for us. Things are going very well. I kind of expected this. Juve are a very big team, especially in Italy. We've got 100 million again to spend in the summer. I don't know what I'm going to do. The debt and loan, as I said, it keeps going up and down depending on when we get the TV money. Currently at 223 million debt, but we've still got 100 million to spend. To be honest, looking at the team, I don't really know where I'm going to invest this money. Probably in the defense. I like Demiral. I like De Ligt. I think we need a little bit more cover there, as Bonucci is finally retiring. I think he's like 37 years of age. So yeah, I think we need to go and invest some money in that defense. Hopefully we can do it. Hopefully we can bring in the right players. I'll see you for a transfer update before season 4 right now. Boys, did we spend some money? We have secured ourselves some very good defenders. First and foremost, Jeroen Timber comes in to play at right back. He is the Dutch defender. Starts his game at Ajax and he's gone to Bayern, which is who we purchased him off of. He can play in a number of positions: right back, right wing back. Can also play centre back, CDM on the left back spot if we need him to. £48.5 million. Bayern made £8.5 million on him over 2 seasons, but he's been very solid for them, very consistent. We also went and got Maximilian Wober, and we managed to pick him up from RB Salzburg for a little bit cheaper than you kind of would expect. £17.5 million for another centre back to go alongside Demiral and De Ligt. I think he's a very good option. He's great in the air, good left foot, so he can kind of play on that side. He can also play as a left back if needed. But we have bought James Justin again. This Leicester guy, he seems to crop up in a lot of my saves because he's just so brilliant. Is natural on both sides, can play centre back if required, physically brilliant, mentally again fantastic and great where he needs to be in terms of those technicals. We've also gone and got Andre 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪. That is because I let 𝘼𝙗𝙤 go, and we do have 𝘼𝙗𝙗, but I thought I needed a backup keeper, not a grayed out one. So I thought it'd be worth to go and invest in a backup goalkeeper, despite my board absolutely hating me for it. In terms of our best 11, this is kind of where we're at. 𝘼𝙗𝙗, Timber, 𝘼𝙗𝙗 𝙤𝙗, James Justin, 𝘼𝙗𝙗, 𝘼𝙗𝙗, Weston McKennie, Luis Diaz, 𝘼𝙗𝙗 and 𝘼𝙗𝙗 and 𝘼𝙗𝙗 sort of battling it out there. Weston McKennie and Nico Ravella again battling it out there. But we've got Lorenzo Luca, we've got Papetti, we've got Pellegrini, Ravella, 𝘼𝙗𝙗. We are deep now. I'm expecting another fantastic season. In terms of the competitions, we've got everything that we have had previously, but we've got the Super Cup, which we've already played. We've played Arsenal, they won the Europa League, we won the Champions League, and we won 5-2. Eddie and Nketiah dialing it up for Arsenal with the 2 goals, but Diaz got 2, Keane, Arta, and Locatelli with the goals for us, lifting another trophy, which is nice to see. Can we defend all 4 of our trophies? I'd like to think so. I'll see you at the end of the season. Guys, I'm not going to beat around the bush. We've won it all again. This is potentially a little bit too easy. Dare I say it, with Juventus in Serie A. We've built a very, very nice team, a great core of players that are developing together. Their personalities mesh even very, very nicely. And we've just dominated again. 92 points in Serie A, winning the Champions League again, beating Liverpool in that final. Let's take a look at that one super quick. Arta again seems to be the man with the big goals, beating a Liverpool side with Bernardo Silva, but everything else is relatively similar, is it? Oh no, they've signed Tammy Abraham as well. Okay, fine. So we win that Champions League final. Obviously, I showed you the Super Cup before the season started. The Coppa Italia beating Inter 3-2 in that final. Raspadori with 1 and Andrea Papetti getting 2 goals from centre-back. I wanted Bastoni in this save, but it would have cost so much to buy him from Inter. And in terms of the Super Cup, again, we win that one, beating Fiorentina 2-0. Locatelli and 𝘼𝙗𝙗 with the 2 goals, as you can see. It definitely seems like getting in Jan Oblak has really, really helped us, because in terms of the Serie A, guys, if we go into the stages, 26 goals conceded this season. The season before was 27, then before that up to 31 and 36. So we are getting tighter and tighter and tighter at the back. We are so incredibly difficult to score against now. And I think that's what all Italian football is all about, isn't it? Just being very, very difficult to get things through. In terms of the finances, I've got another 131 million. I don't really know what's going on. £211 in that net debt. So I don't know what this team needs. Maybe a few squad player options. I don't really know. Can we three-peat the Champions League? First of all, we're going to have a transfer update. I'll see you for that in a second. So guys, I said to you I wasn't sure as to where I was going to spend this money. But I did see a certain player who was transfer listed. He's English, but he was playing in Germany. You may know him. We signed Jude Bellingham. We spent over 100 million on him, but I am convinced that Jude Bellingham is the best player in Football Manager 2022. Just look at his attributes on the screen. He is a monster. Technically, he's great, right? Mentally, he is next level. He is exceptional, and his physical attributes, that 19 agility is it's just phenomenal. He's a world-class midfielder. He's got that model citizen personality. He's got fantastic traits on him, and he's been doing very, very well over in Germany for Dortmund. Doing amazing things. Not really getting the goal and assist return, but the average ratings, guys, are just so high. 7.56 in his last season, and he was unhappy as well. So we went out and spent £105 million on him. I told you we didn't need a lot. It's no real surprise to you that the squad looks pretty good. In terms of the tactic, let's do a super quick pick of the best 11. This is as good as it's going to get, guys. I think this is potentially one of the best squads that I've ever put together. We've got Oblak in goal, Timber, 𝘼𝙗𝙗, 𝙤𝙗𝙗, Justin, Locatelli, Weston McKennie, Bellingham, Chiesa. So if I actually do that and pop Luis Diaz in on the left-hand side, there we go. This is probably actually my favourite best 11. So Oblak, Timber, 𝘼𝙗𝙗, 𝙤𝙗𝙗, Justin, Locatelli, Chiesa, Bellingham, Diaz, Raspadori, and Keane. I know I said at the start of the video I wanted this Lorenzo Luca Raspadori partnership, but I'll be honest, Lorenzo Luca hasn't developed in this particular instance, and since he's been at Juve, hasn't really set the world alight. 12 goals in 20 league matches in his first season after coming back from Pisa on loan, and then the following season 8 appearances, no goals. So he is currently wanted by somebody. Inter. But he's been trying to fight it out with 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 to be the backup striker. And 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, to be fair, the Swedish man is absolutely dominating him in terms of everything. So I'm going to carry on playing the Swede. In terms of the competitions, we've got everything again. We did have the Club World Cup. I can't remember where that sits. Is that at the end of this season? It is. We took on Flamengo and Monterrey in the group, beat those two, and then we took on Bayern in the quarters, and we lost 3-1. Lewandowski scored a hat-trick. He is still very, very good, despite being 36 years of age. A very, very good forward in this year's Football Manager. Obviously, we got the competitions, much the same again. We've played the Super Cup already. We beat Chelsea again. We defended our Super Cup trophy. Wobber, Raspadori, and Locatelli with the goals. Thomas Lemar with the goal for Chelsea. Can we three-peat the Champions League? We've won the last two. Liverpool winning the one before, and we faced Liverpool in both of these finals. So it's obvious, you know, who the consistent teams are. In terms of that Serie A, again, in the season preview, we are heavy favourites to win the division now. And as you can see, we've started to get a lot of players in the Media Dream 11. We've got Oblak, Timber, De Ligt, Ravella, Bellingham, Chiesa as well. So I think the Serie A should be ours. I think we are the best team in European football right now. Let's see what happens coming at the end of this 5th and final season. Right then, guys, 5th and final season. We've three-peated, everybody. We have gone back to back in the Champions League. A hat-trick of Champions League final victories and a hat-trick of beating Liverpool in the Champions League. This time is probably the most convincing of those. 3-0 in that final. Raspadori with the 2 and Jude Bellingham providing his worth there with that goal in the 27th minute. We are just too damn good. Simply put, we already showed you the Super Cup. In terms of the Italian Cup, we won 3-0, beat Sassuolo 3-0. Raspadori scoring against his former club, 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 and 𝘼𝙗𝙪 turning up and doing the business in that one. The Super Cup, the Italian Super Cup, it took us to extra time, did Inter Milan, but Raspadori again, the man loves a goal, absolutely loves a goal, does Raspadori. He's been fantastic. I will show you him in a second. And in terms of Serie A, we won by 19 points, 32 victories, 3 draws, 3 losses all season. We conceded 27, we scored 115. This team is just fantastic. It really, really is. Shout out to some of the players in here though. 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪 has actually been pretty darn good for us. I find him very hit and miss, but he's returned double-digit goals in every season so far, averaging a 7.3 throughout his career, and he's almost hit a goal every other game for us. And Raspadori, as I said, he's one of the main guys that I wanted for this particular rebuild. And if we check out his career stats, he's again almost hit a goal every other game, but seems to score in all of the big ones, again returning double digits in terms of goals every single season. We also got 20 goals out of Jude Bellingham this year, which is exceptional. He played as a central midfielder on attack. The match engine hates it. 16 goals for him in the league and 8 assists in all competitions, 20 goals and 10 assists in 53 games. Jude Bellingham is, as I said, he's just fantastic. Like, I cannot express how good Jude Bellingham is in this save in FM, and he's only 22, 5 years into the future. So in terms of the financial situation though, I wanted to kind of address things. It is currently at 196 million. Once the TV revenue comes in for the following season, I think it will drop in and around the 100 mark. So that'll be an interesting one to see how that goes. But unfortunately, I didn't put anywhere near as much of a dent in it as I wanted to. And in terms of the transfer budget for next season, it just continues to grow. 143, almost 144 million. But that's over to you guys. You guys can spend that now. If you want to pick up this save right as I've left it, right here, the 1st of June 2026, you can do so if you jump into my Discord. The link will be at the top of the description. Head on over to my Discord, join the chat. There is a thread in there for FM22 rebuilds, and you will be able to pick up this save right here, right now, and continue it with Juventus, the 3-time in a row Champions League winning side. It's a brilliant side, and if you do take it over, please do let me know how you get on. But that is where I'm going to leave things for today. If you have enjoyed this rebuild of the old lady, then please do drop a like on it down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel whilst you're down there if you are new around here, and ring that bell so you're told each and every time that we upload a video. But until next time, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you on another rebuild next Sunday.